Hope everybody's doing great out there tonight. We have another episode of Old School Gamer Live coming at you. We have a really fun one tonight. We have some really cool guests hanging out with us. We are excited to bring them on board. And like usual, let's bring our boys on. We got Ryan, we got Casey. What's going on, guys?
Happy New Year. What's going on, everybody?
Oh my gosh, that little break in the action was kind of nice for a bit, but at the same time, it's like, let's get back in and start rocking and rolling again.
Get back.
I'm with you, man. I'm kind of one of those guys, if I slow down and I don't keep running hard, it's hard to get back going to it. So, yeah, I don't like taking breaks very often. So, yeah, this is a tough one. So, let's get back to it. Let's get right back to it, guys. Magazine update for this week. Ryan, what do we got going on, man?
What should I update you guys on? How about this? How about I'll give you a reading of the table of contents on the next issue.
All right.
Just the November issue is finally in people's hands. The next issue, the January issue, we're working on. We were covering the Chicago Connection. Starting with Williams, we cover a little bit of Midway. Go into Raw Thrills, which is kind of the spiritual successor to all those companies. A little bit more coverage of Atari, that 50th anniversary set they put out. Flipping back, NBA Jam, Defender, some Williams Pinball. Chris Tank's got some more stuff in there. A highlight on subscribers to the magazine. Some more stuff about collecting games. A little bit of coverage on indie update, where you find out about developing games. This time we're covering the Nintendo. Heritage Auctions, a little bit of piece after talking with them. We had a really cool interview with the Wizard and the Princess. How many of you guys ever get into the Sierra games?
Oh, yeah.
Ken and Roberta Williams. Absolutely a trip of a couple that started that company, got out in the mid-90s and just been enjoying life. Got back into Yep. As we've talked about here a little bit, they have a new game coming out, which we'll have a review on. Let's see, Phantasmagoria, we talk about Prince of Persia. A cool article from a book series I picked up from, I believe it was Germany. Marco Bredin wrote a shorter piece for us about fighting against software pirates, where he talks about things like this. I just got this game sent to me, old Gold Box series. Back in the day, to stop piracy, games developers would come up with stuff like this. That couldn't easily be copied.
That's interesting. I've never seen that.
Okay, this is from the early 90s.
That's a codex.
Yeah, well, yeah. And they would also put out really big, thick books like the Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego books, where you'd have to reference something out of the book every once in a while. If you didn't have the book, it would destroy the experience kind of thing.
Crazy.
A cool article on Wing Commander, which is also back from that days.
I love that game.
The new Legends Pinball Micro. Of course, some cool games at the back of it from Mr. No Quarter here, doing some cool little things with it. And it'll be a good issue. It's due to go to press on Friday. After that, we'll leave it as a mystery for next week. After that, we're going in a little bit of a different direction with an issue or two covering some other cool stuff. But still kind of in the same ballpark. Let's call it a Chicago connection for one more issue going beyond Williams. So we'll leave that up to the mystery that will be coming next week.
Very cool. I'm excited to read this issue, man. They got a lot of really cool stuff in it.
We're having a lot of fun with it. We've gotten some great comments back. I got a text from one of our regular readers and say, dude, I love the perfect binding, the nice way it's done and everything like that. And this actually, here, let me show you something else here. For those of you outside the U.S., you can now get our magazine through Amazon. And their digital print-on-demand service we mentioned. The only difference is there's no front inside cover, no back piece there.
Oh, that's weird.
All the same kind of stuff. They print them as a book, not as a magazine.
Okay, I see.
If you think about it, most books don't have inside front cover. Yeah. But you can print one of these on demand from anywhere in the world. One of about a dozen factories there will print them, so you don't have to pay U.S. postage.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's sweet, yeah.
If you happen to be watching this, we're going to start promoting it a little bit more later, but if you go to oldschoolgamer.com/world, there's links to issues. We're also reprinting the first year of magazines through that service. So for those of you that didn't get a copy of issues 1 through 6, you can buy the Amazon edition versions of it. Same copy, a little bit of cleanup work done on it, but mainly just kind of reform it to the Amazon sizing.
Do you have a bunch of back copies still that you're trying to sell?
We have the last year or so up on my wall. A ton of issues. We'll come up with some promo to give some of them away. Sell a couple of them would be good
That'll
too.
be nice. Yeah.
A good place to catch us on those is at the GamerCons. I'll usually have a $5 packet and a $10 packet. If you want to pick up some back issues, we're pretty dry on years 1 and 2. We have a bunch of year number 3 available. A little bit of year number 4 and a little bit of year number 5. Mostly available in the used store area. Otherwise, catch us at a show.
Nice.
There'll be some definitely good giveaways to pull off. That'll be dope.
Well, let's do it. I mean, it costs me postage to get it in someone's hands, and that's worth it to me because I want people to see what I'm so proud of that we put together.
Yeah, that's a very cheap investment to get this sort of awesome thing into people's hands. Oh, guys, you can get a free digital subscription to Old School Gamer Magazine right now, or you can go ahead and go all out and get that published printed subscription, which is what everybody wants. You want that thing in your hands. It's the coolest thing.
I got excited when I got mine in the mail. My wife was like, "Hey, you got something from Old School Gamer?" I said, "Oh."
I got to figure out where mine is. I don't even have a copy. I don't know what the heck happened. I don't know how that happened. No, we got to get that lined out though.
Well, if it doesn't show up by like next Monday, I'm going to send you another one out. No doubt about that.
We got to figure out how my address isn't in there somehow, but it's all cool.
PO box, no quarter.
I've been there. All right, let's move on here to our latest news. KC, we had a really cool thing pop this.
Man,
today, didn't it?
Things popped up, and let's talk about it. Ryan kind of touched on it, but there's been some hot news coming out of CES, and guess what? It's coming from somebody that we probably didn't expect that something would be dropping, and that's Atari. Have you guys had a chance to check out these new consoles? They partnered up with My Arcade.
I checked out a little bit of stuff on it. The first one I can't figure out. Obviously, it looks like they've redone the joystick. The next two products I kind of understand what they are. That's more of a handheld. They're about this big. They're really pretty cool. And the last one is that's about that big.
Yeah, the replica. I call it the Replicade, right? Kind of like a little replica arcade.
Yeah, I mean it's a nice. It's nothing. It's not as cool as like the things that we brought on the show last time.
Right.
But it's pretty darn freaking cool.
Yeah, it's super cool. Casey, do we know much about that little console? I do see it has the 3 buttons. It has the single button on the top. It has the button on the.
So the little console, I've been told it has 200 games, and that it has HDMI. So I'm assuming that you could actually pull that out, hook it up.
You can on those, yes.
Oh, really? Yeah, I like the form factor. And I've had some community members that's been talking about this. And they seem to think that this is gonna give the VCS a run for its money because of the form factor. I have a VCS. I like that machine, but this form factor I think is pretty neat.
It'll be cool. And based off of what I can tell from it, I'm guessing we're probably 5-6 months out. They're probably just finalizing at this point. I'll get some more information from my friends at Atari and be able to update you guys a little bit more on it next week.
Yeah, can't wait to hear about that. Now, the handheld. Now, this is the first time I've seen a Atari. What about you, No Quarter? Handheld like that. I know you had that little mini TV-looking Atari. It had Warlords on it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen an actual handheld dedicated to Atari game.
Yeah, not in this sort of situation where it's like the $20, $30 handheld, but branded as Atari. I haven't seen that yet. So this is new and super cool. I'm excited to see what else they got. Real quick, let's call out everybody who's hanging out with us tonight. We got Murray, Mulry
101.
We got Renzo. What's up, dude? We got Devin. We got Brooks. We got Mitchell. And we got 6. We got Hawk. What up? Atari Flashback Portable 2. That's right. They did do that.
Yep.
I remember seeing that guy. Yep. Well, remember what we saw, what was it, 2 weeks ago, 2-3 weeks ago, to hit the news that Atari pulled back its production of the
yeah, they did,
and all that kind of stuff. Obviously, they had something else in the works, and they
now
wanted
we
to
know why. Now we know what happened.
But I'll tell you, I'm excited for Atari. I mean, that's my nostalgia. That's my first machine that I owned, and I'm excited about. It's like a rebirth of them. So I'm happy to see this, and especially at CES, a lot of people did not see that coming. So I'm excited about it.
Well, it should be making even bigger. I just booked my tickets to go to E3. So we'll be
I'll
some
see you
E3
there.
coverage there.
Okay.
That's a cool show. That's probably where they'll be going pretty big at. It won't be the day. It won't be the big times of way back, but
it's in June, no quarter. The second week of June.
Vegas?
No, Los Angeles.
Los Angeles. That's too far.
Too far. You're good.
Come on, Gunther. Come on. See me.
I'll provide. I'll get you. You just gotta get yourself there. I'll take care of the rest. We'll see.
Yeah.
You'd have a blast. I've been to E3 like 2 or 3 times. It's a blast. The amount of it that is retro is down to probably about 20 people and 20 vendors or so.
Yep.
Nothing really massive, but it's still cool to go. So if for some reason you can find a way to get yourself out there,
that sounds like a guy's trip where we go have some fun out in LA and maybe hit Vegas on the way back. So yeah, I think I'm gonna figure that one out for sure.
Come on, man. King Creole will host. I'll host a party for everybody.
I'm down with that. Down the KCK. If we can really, I'll go through all of his high scores up on his cabinets. I'll take over all of his high scores.
Come on down, buddy.
Cool.
All right, guys. Let's talk about our friends that are with us today. Friends of Old School Gamer.
Who we got?
Premium Edition. These guys, I've looked them up, and I've been very impressed with some of the stuff they are coming out with. These guys are creating new retro games. They are even creating their own cartridges for our consoles nowadays. It's the coolest thing.
Yeah, it's a physical product. That's what we like. Physical
physical product. Exactly. It's a perfect partnership with Old School Gamer Magazine here. Let's fire off one of their videos here and see exactly what these guys got going on.
That looks like fun.
That really does.
That looks like fun.
Looking game. Guys, we have Jeffrey, we got Barry with Premium Edition with us. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, guys. How you doing?
We're here.
Doing great.
It's crazy.
What's going on?
So you had part of it right with your intro. We have released some retro games. We released a Nintendo Entertainment System game. We don't make consoles, but we do make modern retro done right. So we do retro style releases physically for modern consoles. So
that's what I meant to say, that you made console games, not consoles. I'm sorry about that.
It's all good now.
Yeah,
it's all good though. But yeah, so the game that you showed off there with that trailer, that was Wonderling DX, digitally published by Bitwave Games, which was part of that merger, right, with Embracer Group. So that was a big one. Barry's over there going to show off some of the items because we just got these in hand and they are shipping. So the second chance sale is up on our website for these amazing games.
So is that, does it have a plastic case around that?
I put a plastic case around it personally. This is this one.
Bougie Berry.
Sweet, man. That is for archiving purposes there.
Yeah, this is.
That reminds me of a Super Nintendo box.
Bingo.
Perfect.
Yeah. Game Boy box.
Yeah, with the
yeah, that also comes with a little pin.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Very
good.
good.
We have goodies inside. We do soundtracks. We do everything. We try to do it's our namesake. We try to do everything a little over the top. So if you notice, when Barry showed that off, there's some foil on there. There's some craziness.
Mm-hmm.
Like some of our, because we do manuals inside of our stuff. Like this is one of the ones we did for Cathedral. Like these manuals are impressive.
Yeah, I have been
color multi-page.
Yeah, look at the art.
That brings back memories, man.
That is straight NES right there.
Like we go classic style fits right inside the case.
Y'all went all out.
It's the exact dimensions of the NES instructions, if you guys noticed that, but it's even higher quality because I don't think I've ever seen the NES with that shiny gloss.
No.
Notes page.
Yeah, even the notes page.
You need your notes for your codes.
What is that? The Zelda instruction booklet? Look at this. It's amazing.
But then on top of it, even with that release, like the retro edition, that was like the version that Barry showed, which has like that Super Nintendo style box. With Cathedral, we did this.
Ooh.
And this is a hand-drawn game guide by Phil Summers, who also has his own Patreon where he does a magazine now. But he drew this like old school Nintendo Power. This is to go through the game.
That looks awesome.
And it's like everything's hand-drawn. This gets you to something that we do unique here at Premium, which is our challenge patches. So essentially, when you go through a game...
Sounds Activision-ish. That's awesome.
I was about to say, Activision used to do that, yeah.
And like we have this game here, Mighty Fight Federation, which is the retro edition, has some characters that people may recognize that are around here, like a Ukulele, Toe Jam and Earl. You got Cunyo and Ricky from River City Ransom. But when you do the challenge, we mail you a patch.
Oh,
I love that. I love that. It brings the action and excitement back.
This is
exactly
or chasing.
You guys are nailing it on the head.
And I was a River Raider back in the day, so like I am 100% love that stuff. And I was like, you know what? The Switch doesn't have achievements.
Nope.
So we made our own, and on top of it, in order to do our challenge, you can't just go buy the game digitally. You have to open our game and look at the cards, see what the challenge is, and part of it is you have to take a picture. That's how you earn the patch, and that's how you make your game complete.
So you don't have to send in a Polaroid like back in the day with Activision.
No.
You can digitally send
Polaroid on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter.
Yeah, social media.
Right.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, I first met Jeffrey back when he was publishing books.
Still doing that.
We can talk about that some other time with stuff. But the last...
I was doing this while you all were talking. I was like,
oh, okay. He has published some fantastic books on different gaming systems, chronicling all the stuff that's in there. And then when he started talking about this premium edition stuff, that when it was stirring over the last couple of years, like, cool, keep on going, baby, keep on going.
Well, if you notice this thing right here, this is a unique story, right? So that painting right here, this is a wooden canvas painting. That was for one of the games we released, Robot Named Fight. One of the artists that we worked with, he actually painted this, and I took this and scanned it in like they did back in the Super Nintendo, and then added the copy to it on the box art for the retro box. I don't know if you have that handy, Barry. Mine's
back there.
That has all the Nintendo Switch-based copy in the corners and everything. And so we did it old school style. So we're trying to do old processing with new techniques to make, modern retro stuff really cool. And that's Infinite Metroid. That game's ridiculous. Mighty Fight that I show is a fighting game. Cathedral is a Shovel Knight meets a Metroidvania.
So you guys are covering all the bases pretty much, all the genres.
Yeah.
Wow.
We don't shy away from
with
genre.
independent game developers and digital publishers to make their games physically, make them part of the physical Nintendo Switch and Sony PlayStation.
That is okay. So you guys aren't developing the games; you're looking for other developers.
Not yet, as Ryan says. Keep going.
Keep going.
Yeah,
we know.
Right now, we'll become a modern age working designs. Maybe later will be a Capcom. Now you never know.
Yeah. Hey, man. I think you guys are going to go somewhere with this. This is very cool. You're going to have a huge audience. The more people that learn about this, I mean, everybody in this channel right now that's watching this wants what you guys are doing. I can guarantee you that.
And we have some indie developers that's watching. I know we got Bash Game Studios, and then we have Squash Bug.
And we're part of an indie development team as well. So, yeah, you guys are in good.
Hit us up.
You mentioned books. I actually have one of these.
Whoa. What's this?
So this is part of the Robot Named Fight. We did a premium, a deluxe edition, and this is a strategy guide for the Infinite Metroid game.
And that's hardback?
Yeah, I'm gonna say
Look at that.
that.
Look how nice that is.
It's gilded in silver.
Whoa.
like this is soft touch, so you feel soft, and then it goes like embossed, a little debossed.
Dude, I almost don't want to open it.
Like this stuff's ridiculous.
The look of the art on that.
This was with direct influence and feedback from the developer Matt Bittner. Even online blogs where they covered the game, they're wrong about this game with a lot of the details and things. So this is like the definitive way to play that game. It's like a roguelike infinite Metroidvania. Like it's ridiculous playing Super Metroid forever. And like this type of stuff, like, and of course, as I mentioned to Ryan, I'm still doing books. He's been trying to get me to write for Old School Gamer. I'm like, my time is like so limited, and this is my side hustle. I still work a full-time job for the next 3 years at least.
I'm trying to get out of that.
And then we're going to get twice as much Jeffrey 3 years from now.
Oh, you're going to actually, like in about a week, they're about to get twice as much Jeffrey because I'm about to change positions for at least a few months before I move again.
Just imagine how powerful we would all be if we just quit that freaking day job and we just imagine what we would
I watched a movie with my wife and my daughter. You guys ever seen the movie Multiplicity?
Yes, I love that movie.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yep. We need the number 3 where he started kind of losing it. We need 2 perfect duplications of Jeffrey and then a copy of Jeffrey. He'd be a trip.
And like Jeff was talking with the games, and you mentioned the Super Nintendo box, like Wonderling, he showed Mighty Fight. We also do NES style. So like Random Your Parade I have here as well. It's another NES style. So we try and base it around what the game kind of goes with. We're not just tied to Super Nintendo. We do Nintendo. We do N64. You know, and a lot of the stuff like Mighty Fight Federation, it has the I'll hold it up again since you made it big.
Hold that up, baby.
Mighty Fight Federation has like the soundtrack in there.
Like The Office in there too.
Yep.
That is cool. And well, good thing that that's a great segue. Because
and a segue to this, think about this now. You just look at that box art. Show up that box art, Barry. So it's an interesting one because from it, you look at the game, don't really know what this is. However, realize we hand pick and curate every single game that we sign. You play as an a-hole Cloud. And you ruin everything. It's ridiculously the most fun game. We could not stop playing.
You are the
and there's your segue.
Yeah. I downloaded the video. I have not watched it yet. Guys, let's watch this together, see what this game is about. I can't wait. Let's see what we do.
Rain on your DLC.
That's hilarious.
Really,
you really ruining people's day.
Yeah. And if Barry had it open, the manual says rain on your manual.
That's funny. You even have a mini golf DLC on there? Holy crap!
Yeah,
man.
what happens is whenever we release a title, we always ask the developers for the final product. We will delay a game until it's done because we believe in game preservation, and that's one of the titles where it had additional paid DLC, and we told them we want to get that DLC on the card as well. We want it to be preserved so that when the shops eventually go down, that stuff's not lost. So when you buy our game, you're getting the full game with the paid DLC and all paid DLC for any game or free DLC. We make sure it's all on the card.
Wow, that's so cool, guys. Now, let me ask you, how big is your team? How big is Premium Edition?
So we've been slowly expanding. Right now, we're at about 12 team members, from marketing to customer service with Barry, to production, to engineers, to our street team, to convention goers, to my design team. We got a lot of people now as we continue to expand.
Wow, that's awesome, man. How many games do you guys currently have in your library?
So, announced, we have 15 Switch titles.
Oh, nice.
Signed, more than double that.
And 9 have already have been released and shipped, with an
9
additional 5
are
in
in
production
hand
right now.
And we've
I noticed looking on your website that you have a couple of games that you're doing second editions on now, like second printings. Correct? Something like that? Second pressing?
Second chance. Once we get them in hand, we're like, here's your second chance to get them. Because our first print, like our first covers and everything are, essentially can be limited, and we'll change what the art is or something like that, just to make sure you have a unique thing when you pre-order. So we'll have a second chance of that first print cover.
Wow.
And then our retro's only done once. So.
But we aren't limited, so we will do more prints as long as there's demands, but we will change it up as we do new printings. Like right now on the website, you can get Robot Named Fight. It's a Steelbook edition. It's a new print. It's not the retro, the deluxe, or even the standard. We did another 1,000 copies, and we said, hey, let's do something different with it. So we did the Steelbook edition.
I think I have it sitting over here, but you can like see through the cover, like the slipcase and everything.
Wow.
It's shiny and neon slipcases, like craziness.
I am so excited with what you guys are doing. I'm excited for the future, especially because you guys are going to just get better and better, it looks like. What do you got there?
So this right here is Cathedral. This is our standard edition. This is what you get for our $40 price tag. So this is a slipcase. There's some foil on here.
How are you guys affording this? How are you making any money doing that? That looks too nice.
I told you we have an engineer. It's their job to find.
Man.
And then you have your NES dust sleeve, right? NES style
dust sleeve. Look at that. Oh my God.
Look at this.
And
those
then
are worth weight and gold.
Now you're at your Nintendo Switch release.
Wow.
Right? And then inside here, obviously, are in both sides. This is where we have the manual and the challenge card with the challenge on the back and the Switch card.
I'm thinking Zone Blaster. If there's any Bash Game Studio folks in the chat here, I'm thinking Zone Blaster get its own print.
We got some games that we've been working on that could actually fit on this system that you guys are doing. We need to talk about that actually.
Well, the main thing is that we just have to play it and love the game. That's it. Like, we have to love the game, so that way we can make sure we can give it a good physical home. And I mentioned we're also doing PlayStation. Our first, because we do a premium direct when we announce a new bundle of games, a series of games. We're doing our first state of play that Barry's working on the script for, and we're going to have our first three titles announced that we're going to be doing in our first series of that first batch. There's some surprises in there too. It's going to be awesome.
Very cool. Jeffrey, question, right? I think I know the answer to this, but what's the next big GamerCon you guys are going to be at? What's some other ones that people can come visit you at? Because I know a lot of you guys like to meet the people behind things.
The next one that I'll be at will be Midwest Gaming Classic in Milwaukee. However, our team member Scott is going to be at Level Up Expo in Vegas. Y'all mentioned Vegas earlier. Mm-hmm. He's going to be at Level Up. He's also going to do another one in New Mexico, like in a week or two. There's another convention out in New Mexico that he's driving over to. He's out in Arizona, our other team member. But yeah, the one that I'll be at, and a lot of our team members, Barry's going to try to make it too, is going to be Midwest Gaming Classic. And
I was talking with Tristan. That's why kind of what the answer was.
And Tristan is writing for y'all, and he actually works on design with me. His first games that will have his designs with it will be
Rack and Ruin, right?
Eagle Island Twist, Love 3, Raji, segue, and They Bleed Pixels. Those would be
What
the
about
four
Rack and Ruin?
have Tristan. He's working on manuals with us. He's working on retro boxes, CD soundtracks, and we're working on some micro book guides as well.
You missed
speaking
Rack
of
and Ruin,
CDs,
Jeff.
we actually have something cool. We have this CD right here that we just recently launched. This is by a band called the NPCs, the non-playable characters.
The non-playable character.
That's funny.
It's a band out in Brazil. The thing was, though, is that me doing book publishing back in the day for the Complete NES, there was this guy called Heatman online that did these awesome hand-etched boxes that looked amazing. He did one for my series, and I put it with a one of the expanded things on the Kickstarter or whatever. He reached out to me. He's like, I'm in a band now. Do you want to do a voiceover for a song? And I'm like, well, absolutely. And by the way, we have a publishing company. We can do a release. And not only do we have the CD, but we just got the vinyl in early. We have vinyl records of it too. So
nice.
We're doing a small print run of it just to see, just support these guys, do some awesome stuff. They have a big PR company and a team that they're going to start covering this. Because right now we kind of did like a little bit of a pseudo drop, and it's up on the website. But yeah, this is a really cool. It's a Neo Geo style aesthetic on the art that they wanted to go with. It's called Auto Saving Post Earth Episode 1 Auto Saving. They have a giant name for it. Johnny Millennium, Happy Console Gamers on here. Podcasters Andrew Scullion's on there, and a bunch of like big Brazilian cosplayers and like voice actresses and stuff. And there's actually a big time musician apparently that he was talking with us about that's on here too. So it's a pretty cool thing. Obviously it's metal rock and roll inspired by Final Fantasy VII.
Nice. There's a band called Bit Brigade. I don't know if you've ever seen those guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely love those guys. So freaking cool. I've seen them once in person. I would love to have them at every tournament that we go to. That's the coolest thing I've ever seen. Having a speed runner playing on stage, and they play the music to the game. It's the coolest thing you've ever seen.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah, and that right there, though, we put CD soundtracks and jewel cases inside of all of our releases too. So, Tristan, what he does, which is cool, which in Rack and Ruin he actually did. So that's an early release. He did some design work for. He did a Metallica Black Album style cover inspired for Rack and Ruin. It looks so cool.
So cool.
Looks so cool.
Well, guys, where can everybody find you online and buy your games?
Yeah, Barry, you know this.
Well, you can buy all the games at premiumeditiongames.com. You could find us also on social media. Twitter, we're at Premium Edition 1, and everywhere else at Premium Edition Games. But definitely come check out what we have. We've got a lot of great titles. Still have some pre-orders. Stuff are selling out on the pre-orders. And you don't want to miss out. We got a great 2023. We have a lot of amazing titles coming up the way. Can't talk about them yet, but you'll be excited.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us tonight on our latest episode of Old School Gamer Live. Ryan, do you have anything left to say to the community?
That's about it for now. We will see you next week. Working on guests over the next month or two. We've got a couple already figured out. Actually bringing artists in. I know that's worked with Jeffrey and the gang on some stuff, and a couple other fun people that are from all the same circles.
Very cool.
Announce the hardcover of Old School Gamer.
Oh, well, that's something that's in process. Yes.
Okay.
We've been talking a while.
Did we get an exclusive tonight?
On that news, Jeffrey, are you in the office tomorrow? I'll give you a call. We can talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah, I know. We've been waiting on some quotes and getting some numbers.
Yeah.
And stuff to make it work.
We did talk about in the first part of the episode you saw that releasing stuff on Amazon. And then after we did that, our next goal is to put out hardback editions of them. Jeffrey Whitten, Higgins,
the quality I do.
Stuff.
Oh man, that'd be awesome.
Imagine that.
Yeah,
I love that.
I think we'll start getting that sucker ready because I'm ready on my end. Jeffrey, if you could bless us with a little bit of your time, we can move that sucker forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we just gotta. I think I was waiting on some quotes from my people, and there you get a lot of pages.
Yeah, it's gonna be. It'll be about about 300-page book. It's gonna be one of big boys. And goal probably to get that sucker kick-started May, June at the latest. So stay tuned. We'll kick it up since Jeffrey's a little bit more excited about than I thought he was. I mean, this is cool.
I'm excited about everything.
It's good, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
You gotta realize, like, I'm working on books too. I just work on them, and then because I'm doing the whole Switchopedia, Switch Collector series, year by year, covering the entire library of the Nintendo Switch as it's coming out.
Well,
I'm in year 3 right now with templating. I've researched out through year 5, and I've also redone my complete NES book, and it's 600 pages. And then I'm doing a Sega Genesis book, which has been templated for years.
Are you gonna do a remixed up version of Virtual Boy? I remember that was an April Fool's joke of yours. He literally joked on April Fool's 3 or 4 years ago that he was going to put a book on Virtual Boy, and then he did it.
Somebody in the chat said it really.
100 pages on the Virtual Boy. So
I want to see you N-Gage. I want N-Gage.
So I did 180.
I actually still have my N-Gage.
N-Gage.
Still have it.
Hey, you know what? The N-Gage has a pretty decent library if you look at it.
It really does. It was very impressive when it came out.
People hated on it, man.
Oh yeah, side talking for sure. I did the same thing until I went for a complete set, and I realized how many great games are on there. That like they had Catan, they got
Tony Hawk played good on it.
Tony Hawk played good. The X-Men Legends 1 and 2. I'm like, what?
They
They had an MMO.
Hey, I look like a true hotshot with that phone. I would pull it out.
Around.
I was in college.
Don't forget the fact that you had to take out the battery just to change the cartridge in the original model.
That was the worst.
Hey, Barry, I'll do the complete Egret Mini too.
Oh, there you go. Nice and easy. We were talking about doing Commodore 64 earlier.
I don't know if you all are aware of the Egret Mini 2, that little mini arcade machine. Did you know that they just released a cartridge with the case and everything?
Yeah.
Here, hold on one second.
Yeah, we got to see this. We're getting exclusives tonight, boy.
You guys got to spend some time with Jeffrey when he goes.
I forgot I pre-ordered it.
Whoa. What the?
This is from Japan. And
Wow.
This is
what's it packed with?
What?
Neo Geo games? What else is on there?
I see Taito.
Taito. Huh. Very interesting.
I looked that up. No court.
Yeah, we looked that up.
I don't even remember when I saw it, but I know I was like, well, I got to find it because I'm never going to see it again. Now I'm afraid to open it because nobody's heard about it.
Brooklyn said he has one.
Okay.
That's why you got to buy two of everything, right?
This is a cartridge expansion. Because that's the craziest. Because when I got the Voss controller extension for it to play Arkanoid, it came with a little SD card for it. I'm like, oh, look, Barry, it's interchangeable cartridges. He's like, well, there's not more than one. Now there's 2.
Wow, that is
I
cool.
think he takes great pleasure in
2
that.
games.
Awesome. All right.
Awesome.
Well, we
I jokingly was talking with Barry about doing the complete Commodore 64.
Now that would be dope.
There's like 3,000 titles.
That'd only be 1,000 pages probably.
Then move on to Amiga.
More than that. Awesome. Well, we appreciate everybody hanging out with us tonight. We have another episode of Old School Gamer Live with you. Next week we'll have another one. Do we know who our guest is next week, Ryan?
I'll send it to you and then we'll start promoting it.
Okay. We'll figure it out next week. We're going to end the show, guys, with the Raji video, another one of the premium edition games. So thank you guys for watching.
Interestingly enough, is like God of War, but with Indian folklore. Like it's one of the first ever massive games. It's gotten awards all over the world, highlighted by Nintendo. And somehow they wanted to do stuff super premium and make it awesome. And we worked directly with them the entire time. This physical is going to be ridiculous. It's going to be so amazing.
That guy there. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's check that out. We'll see everybody next week.
A conqueror had come. Raji was the only one with the power to stop him. That it was her only way to reach Golu. शायद राजी मरने वाली थी शायद वो हार गई थी As Raji drifted, a vision came to her. Who was that with her brother? What did they want?